when a director, that too a Zoya Akhtar, is giving me a script to, choose. Because we don't have a choice, initially. And that was like, when I read the script, I was like, dude, this is the world. Like, I understand the world. I know what I have to do.
बीट चुरा के फिर उसी भूख की कहानी बना के बोले फिर जाके कुछ हुआ.
I think I've learned more on being on a film set, and that's when I started realizing that, hey Mrunal, now it's time. Now I felt confident also to.
Cinema is like magic. You literally in those 3 hours, you have to convince people to kind of believe in that world. So world building is the most important thing, I would say, and the second is the story.
रख दिया ससांग शर्मा और तुम मिल गई रोशनी. मेरी लाइफ की ट्रेजेडी है.
And please tell me that you're not getting married anytime
Me?
soon. Yeah.
No, so I don't know who started.
I mean, it started when I was 21, right after my chartered accountancy, I started and I felt I wasn't going to be the hero. But then eventually reality kicks in and you don't get like parts and nobody's auditioning for the lead roles anyway.
There was a time where Brahmastra was releasing, Liger was releasing during Sita Ramam, and we were really scared and we were like, how are we going to survive the wave of Brahmastra? But when Sita Ramam came, everyone said, hey.
Suddenly romantic films were not commercial. Shah Rukh Khan came in and it became commercial. Again the action became commercial with KGF, Pushpa, and then suddenly a Sayara comes and that becomes commercial. So I think the point is to take a risk.
Sid kissed Mrunal publicly. There's apparently a video of both of us. And my friends from college, they sent it to me and they're like, where's the kiss, babe? We were so happy Sid kissed you. And I'm like, listen.
This interview is presented by Ramraj Mridu Towels. Mridu Towels from Ramraj, super soft, super absorbent. GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
Hello, Mrunal. We've met before.
Yes.
Siddhant, hello. Meeting for the first time. Very good to see you.
It's a pleasure.
I saw Gully Boy at the Berlin Film Festival when it premiered. I don't know if you were there.
No, I wasn't there.
Yeah. So Zoya, Ranveer was there. All the actors were there, and Zoya was there. So that's when we first caught a glimpse of who this person is. Like who's this guy coming out of nowhere? Like a thing. So, and it was like.
I remember I was watching all the reviews sitting at home on YouTube because it premiered there, and I really wanted to go, but I mean they didn't take me for some reason. Because I don't know. But then I was sitting and I was actually watching every review, thinking what's happening, about the film. But I didn't know that it's going to be what it actually, went to be, for me especially. I was more excited about the film in general because it was my first film. Right. So, that feeling of like, okay, how are people liking the film, receiving the film? But yeah, I got a lot of...
And what a performance.
Yeah,
I think it's all, to do with Zoya. And I was pretty nervous at the start as well. But I mean, because it's Zoya Akhtar and Ranveer Singh, Alia Bhatt, and I'd just done Inside Edge before that, which was a totally different character, and I think she just found me like 20 days before the film started.
Wow.
Yeah, I was not supposed to be a part of the film, but just happened to meet at a party where it was Inside Edge's success party, where she found me like just enjoying myself. And she's like, who's this guy? We need to audition him. And I auditioned, and then just had 20 days to kind of get into the character and everything. I don't know what she saw. It's a huge...
But let me ask you this. So there is this by now well documented story that your father advised you to not do Brahmastra because there's a good chance that you might be overshadowed by the bigger stars out there. But this is again a film with bigger stars. So what made him say no to that, and why this became
So firstly, I feel at that stage, you don't have a choice. You hardly get any films because nobody's launching you in a lead role. And I believed in myself that I could, do that because that was my dream since I was. So I did not compromise with my dreams. I was like, I want to, whenever I want to do, something impactful. It started when I was 21, right after my chartered accountancy, I started and I felt I wasn't going to be the hero. But then eventually reality kicks in and you don't get like parts and nobody's auditioning for the lead roles anyway. So then I was like, okay, I will settle down for something which is very impactful, because I was like, let's just act, first, and then it's up to the audience to see me if I have it or not. So Brahmastra, the thing was, it took a long time, as you know, to make it. I auditioned for it and they found me suited for one of the characters, which I think Gur Fateh eventually played. It was not about being overshadowed by any other actor. It was about because there was no script. They were still developing it. So I thought that how do I get onto this without a script? Because what's my part? Like I mean, when I auditioned, I just auditioned martial arts and stuff, like just kicking and just saying a monologue from Taxi Driver. That was my audition.
Which one?
The one in the front of the mirror.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're talking to me.
Yeah, you're talking to me. That one. So I auditioned on that, and which is also I prep for a week because English is not my first language. So I tried to kind of do it in my own way, which they really liked, and they wanted some physicality in it. But there was no script. So I asked them that can I get a script to audition? So they said they're still developing, and they were in a developing stage because they were working a lot on the VFX and the world building right now. And I think that's how Ayan works. He works on a film on the go. So then I was like, how do I sign something, and this is going to be my first. And I was like 23 that time. So it's like, I still have time, if there's no script, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. And I don't understand this thing, They explained me the world, they did show me the thing. But I was a little scared and I was like, let's just wait for something. Versus Zoya, I auditioned, they gave me the scene from the film. And it was Moin's scene actually, not MC Sher's scene, yeah. So they gave me Moin's scene and then, I did that and then they gave me MC Sher the next day. I did that and then they said, can you rap? I was like, no, I can't rap. So it's like, okay, watch like a rap, Divine's rap or something and try to replicate it. I said, when I watched it, I was like, this is too fast for me to remember. It's just one day. How do I get the flow? So I wrote my own rap so that I can remember, and I think I cracked that. And then the next day I remember she literally called me and she was like, I'm sending you the script. And if you like it, we would love to have you on board. And I got a chance, and this was first time in my life when a director, that too a Zoya Akhtar, is giving me a script to, choose. Because we don't have a choice, initially. And that was like, when I read the script, I was like, dude, this is the world. Like, I understand the world. I know what I have to do. I could see the character, the impact of it. And yeah, and then I was like, yeah, let's go for it. Like right in 3 hours, I called her back.
So that was the clincher, the fact that you like to do movies where people give you a bound script.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, I should understand the world. I really believe in the world. More than my character or anybody else's character or anything, I really go for the world building because I think cinema is like magic. You literally in those 3 hours, you have to convince people to kind of believe in that world. So world building is the most important thing, I would say. And the second is the story. And the third is what I'm doing in that. So, I mean, I would love to always invest in the world first.
So what about you, Mrunal? What makes you say, like, do you get scripts?
So, I have a very different approach and I really appreciate because see, Sid just basically said he needs to belong to the world that he's a part of. Either you belong or you don't, which I applied today. But up until now, up until say Do Deewane Seher mein, I would only go with the filmmakers because, they would say, hey, my first film, when I auditioned, I didn't even know what I was auditioning for. And I auditioned for about a year. And multiple rounds were happening and I was like, you know what, I'm just like tired. Either you just say that I'm not good and let me go, but they were just not giving up on me and I was really happy about that fact. So when they said it's Vikas Bahal's film, and I saw his Queen and I really enjoyed it. Then second film, I remember I had just finished Super 30 and Nikhil Advani sir called me to his office and he asked me, when do you have time for narration? I said, sir, I have time first of all. And second of all, did I just hear narration? Like, don't I have to like screen test or audition? He said, I've seen your work in Super 30. But I was like, sir, but for my satisfaction, I still want to do a screen test. So that happened and then I didn't really read the script because I was really happy. Kal Ho Na Ho ke baad, I was very happy to even meet and share, have that time. We bonded over a cup of coffee and I told sir what I want to do, what I want to achieve. And aise karte karte on the dub of Batla House, Rakesh Om Prakash Mehra sir came and he was just watching some footage and I was not there in that room. I just, before I arrived, he'd just left. and sir said there is a script, would you? I was like, sir, I'm just in, because I just want to be there, enjoy the filmmaking process. And slowly is when, after say Jersey happened, then Sita Ramam happened, and that's when I was like, you know what, I better be like, careful and mindful of what I do, because suddenly people are like, Mrunal, whatever you're doing has to, match the standards, and it better land. It has to be impactful. Yes, I think those initial days I also treated my career like learning process. For me, it was more about the filmmaker. Like David Dhawan, when I met Sir for Hai Jawani To Ishq Hona Hai, I just said, sir, I want to work with you. He's like, okay, I have a script. I said, okay, done. That's it. That's it. And then I found out, who's the hero and what's the plot. So some movies I do it for the filmmaker, some movies I do it for the plot. And some movies I want to do it for the commercial aspect, because only when they say when you do commercial movies is when the artsy movies that you would do, the people would come and you would catch as many eyeballs as you can. So I'm still trying to figure out this math, but mostly I want to work with people who feels like, you are my Roshni, you are my Ananya, you are my Nandita. Because like Sid said, if you do not belong to the world, something is incomplete.
Yeah, but it's so beautiful, right? You ask one question and two people give two very different answers.
Yeah.
That's like the approach. But
it's also the journey, because I was coming from a television background, and I felt like, for me, I just want to be on that set. I want to enjoy, I want to see who's doing what, and I would sit on the monitor and I would just observe them. And for me, all these filmmakers,
monitor,
meaning
when you're making films,
when we're making movies, like when it's Farhan's clothes or Shahid's clothes, I would just sit there and observe, like, how is he doing any different?
Right.
Like, everybody's process is different. So I think I've learned more on being on a film set, and that's when I started realizing that, hey, Mrunal, now, it's time. Now I felt confident also to, and there were choices also, like there were options. So I'm really blessed. Like today, if I do not resonate with a character, and if I tell this to a filmmaker, they will take it very positively.
is there a chance that, because I've seen some places where this very logical approach of yours has been interpreted as arrogance, maybe, or maybe this person is like, asking for too much kind of a thing. Have you seen that as well? Like,
Yeah,
it's
of course. Yeah.
Yeah. What is your approach to that? I mean, how do you handle that? Because what you're saying makes complete sense. You explained it so beautifully, like the three phases of belonging to a film. But when it gets interpreted as Sid is arrogant, what do you?
So I feel, nothing, no complaints. No blaming anyone on that, because I feel my dreams, I have seen it on my own. So I would not pressure my dreams on them. My dreams are quite big. Like I very, very huge, and that pressure is on me. So sometimes it might just come across as like that, but no complaints on that, because I'm just defending my ambition, I would say. And I want to do like really path-breaking work. At the same time, for me, work doesn't mean that it has to, just keep going on and on. For me, even if I'm not doing a film for a year or two, which I have had, like after a phone booth, I was not doing anything for a year, and I took my time till Dhadak 2 came my way. But I would take my time. I would breathe. I would just, enjoy normal life and just go back to normal, and then come back with something which I'm really, really excited about, because the monotony bores me, sir. Because I think it's also has to do where I have done my CA, so that's why I moved away from that, because I didn't want to get into the monotony of this. And for me, this is like for me, work is not work. It's like literally like my dream which I'm living. So I want to give the fullest. I don't want to have a single doubt on anything. I need to understand the script, and I want to marry the director. I want to understand his brain and then create that whole world and as an experience. but it might just come across as like, you know, he's asking for too much. And I mean, I think that's okay for them to think, but and I would not say that they are wrong, but at the same time I would not justify myself, because I would just say that I'm defending my ambition, and the pressure is on me to kind of defend and prove it right someday.
Fair enough, but you know, it also makes me realize that because I've been doing interviews for a while, but of late, people have become guarded because they
Yeah.
kind of they're a little scared about. I want to tell this very simple and honest thing, my approach to whatever it is, but then you know somebody's going to twist it and you know make it about something else, and you know that's been a I've seen a shift in the way people used to be versus the way people are now. So it's like it's almost like fortress around myself, and I'm going to like think a little before I answer. You know,
So, I mean, for me, it's applicable quite much because
Yeah.
there's so many times I've been honest.
And please tell me that you're not getting married anytime
Me?
soon. Yeah.
No, in the
I mean, not that I don't
mo-
wish it for you, but you know, what's happening now. Yeah. So
I think 14th April is going to be the first April. 14th Feb is going to be the first April. April's Fool's Day. Because I don't know who started. First of all, I've been quoted, but I never said anything. And they just said, Mrunal said so.
how lovely.
I was like, wow.
I
how
don't need to do
beautiful.
interviews anymore. I can just like put two AI people there and say, you know, whatever
know.
I want, I can just feed it into you know your
It's-
mouths.
It's
and-
scary, but like you said, you know, it's a scary space right now because clickbait say. In fact, there is a video of Sid and I. We were promoting the film, and somebody said, "Hey, what's cooking?" And there's a caption, "Oh, Sid kissed Mrunal publicly." There's apparently a video of both of us, and my friends from college just sent it to me, and they're like, "Where's the kiss, babe? We were so happy Sid kissed you." And I was like, "Listen, we were just promoting the movie, but I don't know. It's sad."
Which one of you is going to tell me why it's called Do Deewane Seher Mein as opposed to Sheher Mein?
Yeah, better.
So, you know, we say when you're in love, you fall in love. But in this situation, we rise in love. That's why do Deewane, when they meet together in a seher, because of insecurities, because our lovely Shashank can't say this, he has the sir problem.
Oh.
That's why it's not sheher, it's seher. But also you will see it in the movie that how two insecure people meet each other and, you know, they just rise in love.
Yeah, they kind of complete each other in a way. You know, I think it also has to do with, to add on to what Mrunal said, to do with personal insecurities, which I think we all carry when it comes to beauty standards in women, and it comes to confidence in men, on when we see successful people on our reels, you know, just doom scrolling, when the girls and the women see like beautiful women just like having the best time of their lives. So that kind of pressures us in a way where we almost start thinking less of ourselves.
Am I not enough?
Am I happy? Is this the life we want? Like, that's aspiration, of course, but at the same time it kind of pressurizes you. You start feeling a little lesser about yourself, and that can actually linger into your relationships, leak into your relationships, and actually kind of make it a little odd. So this story is all about two people who think they are imperfect, and they might be imperfect because nobody's perfect, but then they meet in a setup where the other one cannot see the imperfection. Like, if I feel I have something wrong, she's not able to. She's like, okay, this is fine, we can work on that. And yeah, it's not a big deal. And something which she feels is wrong, I feel like, no, it's beautiful. It's not. I like it. What's the problem? Just because of the noise of the world around. So it's a very internal emotion, I would say. It's a very simple film, very sweet, enduring film. We are. It's about two. It's very internal, I would say.
Yeah.
In a way. So, and Do Deewane is like, because we are, Do Deewane. शहर बोल नहीं सकता मैं because as I come from UP, the sh sir, Gujarat, a lot of states have that thing with sh and sir, so I have that thing. So that's why my confidence is, because I'm not able to like kind of speak up or even approach, because I feel like I'll be judged in a town. So Do Deewane is शहर में, like, in a big city or
And Do Deewane
skyscrapers.
it's a story of anyone, like, and people who are watching us. It's so relatable. That's why Seher mein, so it could be Do Deewane in any Seher throughout the world.
Did you know the song? No.
Yes, of course.
Of course.
No, because You're like so young, so it's like
No,
I don't
no,
know.
I have grown up watching all.
absolutely.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
knew the Gharona.
Yeah, of course.
You know that
Yeah.
thing. Okay, so
What a beautiful film, though.
yeah,
And the visuals also so
Yeah,
cute.
the way they captured Bombay those days. Some of those
Bombay
films.
looks so beautiful.
Yeah, some of those films are shot by K.K. Mahajan and it looks just so different from what we see
Authentic,
today.
what
And
we see
also, I
today.
think the color then was a little different, and there was a little watercolorish
grading,
kind
I
of
know, yeah, it was
a
so
quality to
different.
it. Today, everything is
HDR.
Glossy.
perfect and so
Clean.
you know,
Picture
like
perfect.
yeah, so clean.
HDR,
Yeah,
yeah.
So it's like
Very
everything
sharp.
is so. Especially when you watch it on a big screen TV or on the big screen, it's like it's been DI'd to the
Pro
to,
Max.
to Pro Max. It's just like, but anyway, that's a different discussion. But I was speaking to your director, Ravi Udyawar. His room is just behind us. And he was saying that one of the things that made him want to do this movie is because people hardly make love stories anymore.
Yeah.
Even Dhadak 2, which are really good movie, it's not technically a love story. It's a love story that lies on top of a lot of other things, right? It's like it's not an easy, but it's not that two people meeting, falling in love, doing this, and that used to be a staple of Hindi cinema once upon a time, where almost every other film was a very human love story. And when Star Kids were launched, it was almost always with a love story. In fact, Kumar Gaurav was launched with a movie called
Love Story.
Love
So
Story.
you
It
know,
was, I think, running for almost a year.
Yeah.
So why do you think we moved away from love in the movies?
You know, that's my conscious effort that I always be a part of love stories, be it Telugu cinema, be it Hindi cinema. I think everyone's I'm not great with action movies, not I have tried. But there are action movies being made. I think I'm a responsible,
Aren't you doing Dacoit?
which is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not released yet, I'm
Okay,
saying.
yeah.
So, there was a time where Brahmastra was releasing, Liger was releasing during Sita Ramam, and we were really scared and we were like, how are we going to survive the wave of Brahmastra and Liger? But when Sita Ramam came, everyone said, hey, this is such a so refreshing. And I think post-COVID, people lost that emotion, that love. There was that emotion was missing. So similarly, when it comes to Do Deewane Seher mein, I think it's that comfort food. It's the dal khichdi. It's the soul. It's, when you're home, you've had a hectic day and you just feel like happy, that comfort. You cannot explain that. That's why I feel as a responsible actor, I want to keep that emotion
I want
going
to
on.
put love back into the world again.
I want लोगों को इश्क से इश्क हो जाना चाहिए. That's it. That's all I want.
You should sell all your movies. You do a good job.
You do
It's
it.
like,
Thank you.
no, so I think one of the reasons Sita Ramam was also very appreciated is after a very long time, you saw a very pure love story with nothing else on the agenda but the love. Yeah. It was just a man and a woman trying to be together, and the obstacles that kept them apart, and it was lush and it was mounted on this very beautiful way, and that kind of thing. Is Do Deewane that kind of a movie?
I would say, the love story is the common factor. I would take that. But I would say you would see Bombay in a very different way. Like as you spoke about the
Mumbai.
Amol, Mumbai.
This is Mumbai.
In a very different way, in a very fresh light, I would say. And of course, the scale is there. We've shot it like in a very beautiful. You'll see colors. You'll see, the bright skies. As a love story is shot. So I would say, that was period. This is still contemporary. That's, I think, something which is. But I wouldn't compare it. I think it's a different kind of.
No, not to compare, but because the idea that I got was this is once again like Sita Ramam, where a story where love is the central emotion, between the two people, as opposed to other things like Dhadak 2 or wherever it is.
Yeah.
It's like because even Gully Boy, you can say it does have a couple and they're in love, but I wouldn't call that a love story.
Love story,
That's
yeah,
what I mean. Because every film has a love angle, but it's not necessarily a love story.
Sir, it literally took me no time to be on this movie. Like, I met Ravi sir in an elevator, and fortunately I just shifted to this new building and I was standing with my mom, and my mom said, I love the mom that you made. And I was like, sir,
Your
I'm a
mother
big...
recognized-
My mom recognized him first. And then I told sir, I'm a big fan of yours. I would really like to work with you. He said, let's catch up. And within a week, he dropped me a message, what are you doing? I said, sir, I just packed my bags. I'm going to Dubai. I have 1.5 hours to go, to kill. He's like, why don't you come up? I have to tell you something. And Kalpana ma'am was also there. And I was like, coming, sir. Wore my slippers, went up. And he said, we have a story for you. And I was like, sir, that's brilliant. He narrated me the one-liner. I said, sir, I want to hear this film in detail. Next day, I came back. I did my event. I came back the same night. Day after, I'm in Ravi Udyavar's office. Abhi Ruchi, who's the writer, she narrated me the movie. And I said, let's do so. And April, we were on floor. We were just shooting. That's how, because love, you know, you need to resonate. Like today, I feel I am a very old school person. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do Do Deewane Seher Mein is because when I was growing up, I watched movies like Veer Zara, Fana, and I felt like, why are there not movies like these being made? Why there is this theme song which doesn't play in my mind, you know? So when I heard Roshni, which is my character, and Shashank, his character, I feel today when we enter a room, there are so many things going on. Like he said, there are voices of the people, there are thoughts, there are complexities, there's insecurities. And I feel in my life, the only thing I want is a partner who can make me feel comfortable when it comes to my flaws. This is like, if you see,
That's a beautiful statement. Yeah.
Even in my career trajectory, if you see, I was so uncomfortable with the way I looked, with the way I was, with the way I spoke, the choices I made, the words I spoke, whatever. But today, I feel it just needed me that one person or good, like friend circle, or the people you love the most, who make you push and, you know, makes you feel like, yes, Mrunal, these are your flaws, but use it, you know, make it your strength. So this film instantly gave me that, and I feel this is what we need. This is, if I had to define Do Deewane Seher Mein in one simple line, it's my dal khichdi, it's my comfort zone.
Yeah, but don't sell it as dal khichdi.
No, please, but
because
it is.
It
is that comfort that you get, you know, only a Maharashtrian would understand. Like for you, it is rasam rice, right?
Technically, yes, that would be the definition, yeah. So, you know, for both of you, you rely on a different process of getting into a film or agreeing to a film. You have a different, probably more instinctive response.
Yeah.
But when it comes to handling what a film life entails today, how different are your thoughts? Because she just mentioned she went to Dubai and came back, did this event and came back that very next evening, right? And I've noticed many of my interviews with stars happen on Sundays, on days which typically the normal world is, you know, taking a break, because they always say, you know, like I got a message today saying, hey, yesterday, saying, hey, I hope you had a great Republic Day weekend. And I was like, huh? Did that happen? Yeah, you know, because I was working right through, right? Because something was happening or the other. How do you guys deal with the fact that you then say, this is the time I'm actually taking off? Is that the time you get? How do you wrap your head around the fact that, or do you need no work-life balance? Do you just say, my work is my life is my work, and I'm just going to grab time whenever I can? How do you deal with that?
For me, I think right now where I'm at, I think I don't have any other choice to just my work is my life is my work. So mostly no days off because I don't know what to do when I'm not working.
Really?
Yeah. I anyway stay
Ask
with
me. I'll give you a list.
I anyway stay with my parents, so they're always there. It's not like I'm, you know, missing them or something. So I need to go and visit them. So they're always there. My friends are from Mumbai. They're all here. So yeah, I mean that's one of those days when I, you know, wrap up early. I mean, yeah, I meet them and that's it. But to take like a longer break, I think that then I don't know what to do, because as you say, an empty mind is a devil's this thing. So I start like over-analyzing, overthinking. So I constantly want to engage myself in something or the other. Even if I'm not working on a set, I would do like I would read a book. I would do something like, you know, learn a skill maybe. You know, something might come handy when I'm doing the next film, and I need to be prepared for the best and for the worst. If they want me to do something like, you know, maybe played a drummer. So, so I would just randomly pick up a, drum set and start.
So you can't sit still with your thoughts.
No, I'll rather paint. I'll create something. I need to create. That's my, I would say, the chi, as you would say. I need to create, constantly create. Either I write, or I read a book, or I learn a martial art, or I am learning, making songs, writing poetry.
So you're not the kind of guy who can just strap on a backpack and go on a trek or something like that.
I mean, even, yeah, I'm also that. I do that, but that's also because, I would go there to maybe, I don't know, to get inspired.
Okay.
It's never to, like, I cannot just shut off and just be like.
In the moment is like something a little difficult for you.
No, I'll be in the moment, but like I'll always see things to kind of get inspired from, to create something. Like, if I see I'm maybe going for a trek, if I'm going to Ladakh, which I usually go like every year, I go, take my bike. I want to like go there, and if I see something pretty, I want to paint it, maybe write about it, or maybe, write a poetry about how I'm feeling right now, in the moment, how I'm feeling about things. So I think I have a very third person perspective where I can see myself in a situation and kind of narrate it how it's happening and create something out of it. So I constantly need to get like stimulated and inspired in a way. I just can't sit and just not just be blank. That happens very rarely, sir. So
Nice.
I think my work is my leisure. I think that makes me the most alive, I feel.
Oh my God.
Completely opposite.
Yeah, but I was like that. Like the time I met you, I was set hopping from, from Hyderabad to Mumbai, from Mumbai to New York, shooting for Family Star, and then simultaneously something or the other was happening. I was doing 3-4 projects, but now I've slowed down. I only realized that on Do Deewane Seher mein set, because I was just not getting enough rest. I got dengue. And we had to stop the shoot because it was really miserable. I think it was one way or the other of God asking me to rest. So I've started taking mandatory. I mean, I don't want to end up in a hospital for 11 days, 12 days. It was really, really brutal. And that's when I realized that, Mrunal, you got to like slow down. Try to take Sundays off if possible. And it's also like when I signed the projects with, say, for example, Decoit and the other films that I did, they only function like 8 days in 1 month, or 15 days, and so I was sorted, luckily. So I'm a person who would plan my year way in advance. I'm kind of annoying because I will tell you exactly what I'm doing on so and so date. So I would have these mandatory.
What are you doing on the 14th of July?
14th of July.
Sorry, 14th of
Feb. I'm promoting our film, and I'm traveling to Lucknow 14th evening.
Damn.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes. Yes, because we are. I'm spending.
But I'm very impressed. You remember the exact place you're going.
I'm a banker's daughter. I remember numbers really. Yeah. So.
So if I ask you 63 into 87, you know what?
Not like that.
Oh, okay.
But dates and like number plates or some phone numbers, it would be like on the tip of my tongue.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I said, I have mandatory holidays. Like Christmas and New Year's is the time where I need to be with my family, even though I live with them. But I don't think I get enough time to spend with them. I have realized that birthdays, anniversaries are very special. I try to spend half a day on set and half a day with my family, and also one break for myself where I can rejuvenate, because I feel like exhausted.
An annual break?
Not annual, like that after every 6 months, because we are shooting 24/7. Most of the time you're shooting one unit here, doing some digital stuff there. There's too much happening. I feel I need that time for myself or with my sister. Because I feel when you observe people, when you travel, when you learn about the culture, when you learn about the people around you from their stories, their experiences, you're able to reflect that in your work as well. Yeah. And because, and also like I would take workshops, like Sid said, I'm learning ukulele right now.
Oh, nice.
So which is very interesting. And I like throughout the year, I work really, really hard, so I need my off days. And I also encourage people to take one weekly day like off, because your body needs it. as an actor, I feel like I was exhausted pro max, and I could see that on camera. You know, you need to look fresh. Mostly I'm just scared after that dengue experience. Nobody knows, by the way, I was sick and all of this happened. I like to keep it very like under the wraps, but I don't want to fall sick. So that's why these breaks are mandatory.
You know, I'm just going to narrate an incident which I've told before, but because Gully Boy, we have Mr. Gully Boy here, and so I met when I met Ranveer in Berlin.
Yeah.
So I asked. So the general interviews were happening, not video but text at that time.
Okay.
And so I asked him, so what's behind your clothing style?
Oh.
Because by then he'd evolved into this guy, right? So it's like so without judgment, it's like, what is it? It's obviously it's coming from some place, right? He told me the exact thing, which is like, I never, like you when you said I never want to go back 11 to 12 days in a hospital, right? So he told me that he was but during Lutera, he injured his spine and he was lying on a bed, and he thought, is this the end of my dreams? Is this all that it's going to be? All that I work for to get this far, is that all going to be over? And he was just staring at the ceiling because he couldn't even move. And then he said, if I come out of this, then I'm just going to live life exactly the way I want to. I guess you identify with that. And so that became the story of the clothes. And I was like, I was deeply touched because, you know, people kind of make fun or this or that or whatever it is, but this is intense story behind it.
Yeah, like before dengue, I was a person who would take life very like seriously. Now I was a overthinker. Ask him. I would freak out if I wouldn't read the script. If I wasn't there on set, I would like, why is it not perfect? And then I was like, it's okay, yaar. Ho gaya, theek hai, hota hai.
But are you okay with an imperfect
Now I'm
take
okay.
kind of a thing?
Not take. I mean, I would always learn my lines and come on set, but I would freak out on small issues. I was like, why is it not like this? What if I screw up? You know, what if I... So I was overthinking, and now I've started taking it slow. I've like, it's okay. Jo ho raha hai, hone do. It's not in our control. It's not in your control. There's nothing we can do. So just breathe and not be hard on ourselves.
Right. So, Siddhant, tell me a non-spoilery scene from Do Deewane Seher mein. Anything. Say, like, you go to see her or something like that. Something that's not a spoilery scene.
So there is a scene, obviously, when I was in my 20s, I didn't realize that was happening. And when I read that scene, I was like, oh my God, I want to do this scene so that I can... I want to actually, I'm happy that I'm able to perform that scene because it also shows how evolved I have become over a period of time.
You know which scene she's talking about?
He wasn't there in that one.
I wasn't. Yeah.
Right, okay, let me just...
There's one scene in The Office which everyone should watch out. That's the scene that I'm talking about.
Okay.
And I feel like when I was performing that scene, I realized that, oh my God, I didn't realize so many people have been through that. And I realize it and I connect with it even more because I have crossed that age or I've experienced certain things in my life and it didn't hit me then, but it hits me now. I said it in a fun way, but right now I really feel like, oh my God, I wish Do Deewane Seher mein had come to me in my 20s. You know what I mean?
But, so, are you saying you're the kind of actor that brings in real life
I try to.
into what you're performing?
I try to as much as I can.
Okay.
Like,
so what is the process? You read your lines.
Yes.
Like on a particular day, you read your lines.
Yes.
You go out there.
Yeah.
And then have you chalked out something like...
You know, I feed a lot on... So basically, Roshni is a concoction of an amalgamation of what not just my director, my DOP or my writer thinks, but also I would ask my actors, what do you think? Like I would ask Aisha ma'am who played my mum, said, what do you think Roshni is? And she would have a different interpretation about how she saw Roshni as.
That's a great thing.
And I was like, wow. Obviously, we would do like some certain kind of brainstorming on how Roshni would be before I met Shashank or what my life would be before the film where it begins. But, you know, it's very interesting, especially my HM, my entire team, when they would tell me, oh, I thought Roshni was this, yeah, she should do this, she should do that. I was like, oh my God, I actually never thought about it. So for the first time in my life, no, actually second, Jersey was the first time. Do Deewane Seher mein ka full round table had happened where all the actors and writers and full reading had happened. So I jotted down a lot of points because I feel like it's also important from what others, like the way your mother will look at Mrunal, the way my dad would think of Mrunal, they're two separate things. My mom thinks I'm a very overthinker, sensitive person, but my dad is like, oh, she's a very courageous, feisty girl. So I was like, how do I marry these two emotions together? And I also try to put certain elements of Mrunal in the character because it should feel relatable. Like there is one scene which one shot in the movie where I'm eating. Food is my biggest weakness. Food is love. So I was eating a meddu vada in the scene also. So I was really holding it like this. But that's what I do in real life. And I didn't notice it until some fan club made some collage. And I was like, wow, Mrunal in parallel universe. So yeah, that's what I mean, people who know me really well, they would find out. Like there's one shot in Super 30 where I hold the medal and I'd be like, and he doesn't respond, I'd be like, and I leave.
That's you.
That's me. So friends who know me, they would be like, that's you.
And you?
For me, sir, I think most of the characters which I've played till now are not even like close to who I am.
Not remotely close to
I'm not a rapper from the gullies. I never like Prashant Kanoja and Inside Edge, Gehraiyan, and Dhadak too, you know. So not close to where I am. So for me, I usually choose characters which are far away from me. Because I feel I'm very boring and I feel I'm not that interesting enough to actually add on something to it. So I like to yeah, kuch bhi. But I feel like that. No, that's the insecurity which I have. I should have said it that day. Yes.
Which day?
And then we had a like a thing, you know, like a panel
panel,
with
yeah.
Ronak on relationships, and they were talking about
But
insecurity.
see, this is
Yeah.
what the film is all about.
Yeah.
He thinks it's not good, but it's really good. Yeah. Can't-
So yeah, I feel like I am not that interesting to add on to something, and my life is quite monotonous, and you know, so and it's also I feel it's very boring to kind of play something like that. So I like to keep myself neutral, like a plain canvas, where the director can and the writer can come and paint, and my co-actor also very important because how they see, as she spoke about, how they see me, you know, and how I react to that action. So I just try to dive deep into the headspace, and I don't know how, but automatically, like without me subconsciously knowing, my gestures change, my styling in personal life also changes. So that kind of leaks into my personal life, like the way I like. You know, even in Kho Gaya Hum Kahan, you know, I think I realized I was more. I got funnier after that, you know. After Gully Boy, I got like motivational in a way where I was, you know, and I have a younger brother who's 21 years old. So I was like, you know, I was behaving like that, and he loved that part of me. And it does leak into your life, and for me, it definitely leaks to a lot, you know. And I let that happen because I just feel I want to get lost in that thing because otherwise, I think it just for me, I get really like. Not very stimulated to just do things which are very, you know, just karne ke liye. I feel.
Would I be right in saying that you're not a person who likes to share too much and is kind of like closed?
I would say that no, I actually share a lot. I have a page called City Chats where I write things, you know, and which is the most vulnerable part of me. But yeah, so I mean, I do share feelings, but I do share. Of course, I do share. Like what's happening. Like if you ever get the time, please go through it. It's all my experiences and how I see life, how I see romance, love. At times, so there is a part of me which loves sharing. I do share a lot. In fact, I'm an oversharer with my friends and my family. I say everything. It doesn't. Nothing goes in my. So that's when I get empty. That's why, because I overshare, I get empty, and I feel, you know, let's find something or a character or a headspace where I can just, you know, find new things. So I think I would, even to do with when I linking this with the previous question when you asked me like about work and life balance, I feel I'm so curious. Like I want to like, I'm like an explorer, you know, I'm like shopping for life. I want like new things, getting inspired, new people, new headspaces, new walks of life, new things to kind of dwell into. So yeah, I just want to get lost in under the skin of my characters, and yeah, that's because otherwise I feel like what else? I don't know any other way. I'm like a just I need a vessel.
Yeah, but you've also, one very impressive thing about your resume is that you, right from the beginning, Gully Boy and Zoya, and then you worked with Yash Raj, Dharma, now Bhansali Productions. There's been a very, very impressive process. It is true,
Yeah,
right?
no,
Look at
I'm
it,
like,
everything is
wow.
very, there's a, that's really something that, so if someone wanted, like a newbie came to you and asked for advice on how to use a casual phrase, play the, whatever, play, you enter the, do this thing. What would your advice be?
I would say exactly what I said to you. So on just defend your ambition, man. A lot of people are gonna tell you what to do, what is not right, do this, do that. Just nobody is sleeping besides you and seeing your dreams. You only do that, and you're responsible for that. For me, the best thing which I usually practiced back in the day when I did not have anything, no work. I never used to even get ads because I had like curly hair and I was like, I was not fitting in the typical boy next door. So I used to.
Boys next door don't have curly hair.
I don't know. I mean, somebody told me that a curly hair guy can never be the hero of a leading Indian. Yeah, I was told that.
He told you this?
No, I mean, I've heard people say that.
This is the thing in the ad industry.
It's in the industry
In the
overall.
industry, oh.
And then somebody told me that cinematographers don't like people with small eyes, and I had small eyes, and I was like, and then I saw Benedict Cumberbatch, and I was like, okay, curly hair, small eyes. I'm like, okay, we are safe. Daniel Day-Lewis. I'm like, curly hair, small eyes. Okay, good. So it breaks your confidence, when you're trying to. So I think people will tell you 100 things, around, and what the belief, the faith. And I know it might sound really meta if I say it right now, because that's what I had. There's nothing else. I just was this crazy delusional guy who used to be thinking that I will work with a Dharma. I will work with a Yash Raj. There's a famous story where one of my friends was an AD in Yash Raj, and he said, यार यश राज की कॉफ़ी बड़ी अच्छी मिलती है, चल तुझे पिलाता हूँ. And I stood there and I said, नहीं यार, जब बुलाएंगे तब जाऊँगा. ये अब आपको ये arrogant लग रहा है, घमंड लग रहा है, but no, this was me.
I don't feel.
नहीं, I mean like overall, people might say यार ये क्या घमंड है यार, मतलब. But I stood there at the chai ka tapri and I had a picture and I posted that years later when I signed my first Yash Raj film, that I stood there at the chai ka tapri, like तू check लेके आ, जब बुलाएंगे तब जाऊँगा. So for me that was the thing that I will shape my world. I will like do it my way. So manifestation also not just having belief without experience. So experiences in terms of doing theater, watching a lot of films, learning new skills. So I was preparing myself also on the other side to back my manifestation, not to just. So I was ready. I had 20 days to prepare for the rap thing. If I did not know how to write, or did not know the rhyme scheme and the rhythm of things, and rhythm came from when I played the guitar. So that's why I got it very soon. But if I couldn't crack it, then I wouldn't have been where I am. So it also has a lot of back-end work towards the manifestation. And I know it might just sound meta, and it might just sound that yes, I am lucky, I'm blessed because my parents, they really supported me, and my friends really, they all were there, like my whole little tribe, because I was so scared to even talk about my dreams. So were my parents. When my people asked my dad that what is he doing when I was struggling that time, so he said no, he's doing CA only. He's just finding a job or something. And then they used to see me in ads. So like, अरे ये तो acting कर रहा नहीं, no तो ऐसे ही कर रहा शौक से. Because we were so scared to tell them that he wants to become a hero or a leading actor in Hindi films or even an actor. They would shoot you down. They would like, अरे क्यों बहुत लोग आते हैं सर, कितने लोग हैं, लाइनें देखो कहाँ से आपके मतलब लोग इतना साल का थिएटर करके नहीं मिल रहा है, ये कैसे. सो माई डैड केप्ट इट लाइक वेरी प्रोटेक्टेड टिल इनसाइड एज केम. इनसाइड एज का और कि अरे यार ये तो शो में दिखा नहीं, तो उसने ऐसे ही टिल देन उसने ऐसे ही कर लिया. मैंने बोला डैड अब तो बता दो. इट्स लाइक नहीं, जब तू पहली तेरी फिल्म आएगी ना और हिट होगी तब. आफ्टर गली बॉय पीपल कॉल है इसको एक्टिंग ही करनी चाहिए. उस लाइक डैड इज लाइक पता है हमको. सो दैट्स हाउ वी प्रोटेक्टेड आवर ड्रीम्स, बिकॉज coming where I come from a humble background, dreams are not very appreciated. तुम कुछ बड़ा बोल दो या कुछ ऐसा बोल दो, अरे 4 लोग तुम्हारे बारे में सोचने लगेंगे, नज़र लगा देंगे, अरे नहीं होगा यार, अपने आप को बड़ा ये समझता है वो समझता है. तो बहुत ही हम बचा के अपने ड्रीम को प्रोटेक्ट करके यहाँ पे आया हूँ. So it really is nice, and when people sometimes feel that the arrogance is there when I find it reassuring that I'm still on the right path. That means I am thinking right. I'm not blended in. I still have that spine to kind of hold my ground and not just be like, अब तो हम आ गए तो अब तो हम कुछ भी करेंगे, मज़े करेंगे. So I'm still kind of trying to shape my thing, and it's going well till now because I mean the people I've worked with, but I still need that. I still need. I've not done enough. I still need that commercial backing. I would say credibility in a way. People have liked some of my performances, but commercially it's not broken out yet. So that is one thing which just hits me when I
You mean like one huge commercial
that
success
one,
kind of a thing?
Yeah.
Like
and hopefully this might be one. So
Yeah.
I'm just like fingers crossed.
fingers crossed. But something like how Sita Ramam shifted the scale of a career.
The Super 30
completely.
as well.
Super 30. No, Super 30 was the very first one, but that was a slightly smaller role. Like Sita Ramam belonged as much
Yeah.
to you as to. That's what I mean. It's like because
Eventually, see, it's also the choices of our roles, we chose to do films like Dhadak 2. I mean, hats off to him. It's such a, it's a topic which not everyone would be keen on watching. It's a very difficult topic to even watch. Imagine happening it to someone.
Yeah.
So, and I chose to do Love Sonia, and in that case, I even chose a different path. I was not afraid to just do an episode on A Maid in Heaven, because when Zoya approached me for that role, which was about domestic violence, I felt like I needed to do it, and that was the time where a lot of people told me a lead actor would not do that. Why are you doing? You just like you should go like this, you're going like that. I said, no, it's about the stories. It's also our choices. There was a press conference during Decoit, and somebody asked, why won't you do commercial movies? And I asked them, do you want me to? And they're like, yes. But I was like, okay, maybe करना पड़ता है, करना पड़ेगा.
But don't they see Hai Nana, for instance, as a commercial movie?
It's a very balanced. See, if you see Super 30, Batla House, then Tufan, or it's a very balanced movie. It's not out and out commercial movies where I'm dancing and I'm doing like.
Oh, like that. Okay, so that's the thing. So is that something that you define as a commercial movie as well? It's like something where you get to
Masala movie.
like the older days when when
But days
Star
have
Kids were.
changed. Things have changed.
I know, that's what I'm
Choices
asking,
are
because
changed.
there was one stage where I've read interviews where people say things like, I'm training to be a hero, I'm learning horse riding,
Yeah, but
I'm
they
learning
don't
dancing,
do
I'm
acting
learning
workshops.
some sword fighting, I'm learning I don't know, but there was this skill set or toolbox that was considered a commercial hero's toolbox. But surely that's not the case today. It's like
I feel firstly, the space where we are in, we cannot pinpoint and tell this is a commercial film like from the start of it, because the films which have really done well, even recently, they have all gone against the trend.
Yeah.
Like from Sayara to a Dhurandhar, to a Chhawa, it's they've gone in their own way. Like Dhurandhar is releasing in 2 parts. Sayara came in when no romantic films were working. So I don't think today we can actually
Gauge.
define commercial film, commercial cinema. I plan to redefine it in a way where I want to do, I want to be a responsible commercial in a way where it reaches the most people. And I don't know what story that's going to be.
what's a responsible? I mean,
I would say responsible as in not something which doesn't have like, I would say a soul in a
Okay.
way. Just like,
like a series of set pieces or something like that.
Yeah, that because we watched that and we have loved that. That's why, like, I have seen so many films which are my favorite out of that. Like, I love that. So that I don't want to replicate it because it's already been done. I want to redefine in a way. I want to find the new commercial age cinema for us, for the coming generation. And I think commercial cinema kept getting defined in every era. From Bachchan Saab's Angry Young Man to suddenly Shah Rukh Sa's Sir came, which became the, Dilip Saab's Tragedy, then Bachchan Saab's Angry Young Man, Shah Rukh Sa's Romance. So the redefining has happened every time. Suddenly romantic films were not commercial, Shah Rukh Khan came in and it became commercial. Again the action became commercial with KGF, Pushpa, and then suddenly a Sayara comes and that becomes commercial. So I think the point is to take a risk. The point is to not play safe. So responsible, I would say that I don't want to play safe, and in that I have burnt a lot on me, but I still would not choose to play safe and see that अच्छा ये चल रहा है, अच्छा ये फॉर्मूला ये करके ये एक फिल्म बना देते हैं, ये बेच देते हैं, ये पैसे कमाएगी. पैसे कमाने के इंटेंशन से अभी तक तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि I want to eventually get into that, but at the same time I want a film reaches the maximum amount of people, and not monetary terms, but in terms of watchability, and it reaches the most amount of people, and yeah, and
So, but I'm so confused. Please, like now that we are chatting, I want to know what this commercial.
we don't know. We'll never know.
Sometimes a movie which is crossed 100 crore, and people say it's a okay film, but good movies which are so good, why doesn't it? But it's
good
made in
is a
the small.
subjective thing, right? It's like you might like a
Like
movie,
it,
he
you
might
may
not
not.
like a movie. But I think we live in a very interesting time.
exactly.
Where, see, for instance, like from the time you said, like Amir plus romance, surefire hit. Shah Rukh plus psychotically kind of character, surefire hit. There was a
Possessive, lover,
there was a certain,
passion, yeah.
if this actor and this kind of a role come together, that would be we are not at that time anymore. So every film that you do, and fingers crossed for this one, is a risk. So the thing is, there is nothing that you can do that says, if I do this film, then that is going to work, because one fine day that film, for whatever reason, might not. And I think, I mean, at least from an observer point of view, that's very exciting, because you never know what. Like, can you imagine a movie like Dhurandhar, a 3-hour whatever plus movie? See, Gadar's success, Border 2 success, I can understand, because coming from an existing property, IP, whatever. Dhurandhar, which is like a one-part movie, has apparently, as of this time, has become the only single language film that has done over 1,000 crore gross, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
As opposed to the other films which did great money but also released in multiple languages and things like that. For a movie this serious, this violent, this focused, where the hero is not technically the center of the movie, but the villain is, at least for the most part, where Ranveer very graciously pulls back and knows exactly what he's doing. I'm sure he's going to explode in part 2, but in part 1 when you see it, it's like he's in the background and so much is happening, and this movie of all movies goes and becomes this blockbuster.
Who you don't know, man.
You don't know. So the thing is,
No, so when I entered the industry, that time the definition of a commercially hit movie was crossing 100 CR.
yeah.
But few movies were made in 100 CR, few movies were made in like 20-25 crores. So that also was one of the aspect which I never get into and I don't want to.
Right.
What I want, and I think from what I understand Sid also wants, is to reach as many audiences as possible, create a small space in their heart, and just share through the movies the relatable, like the problems that every human being is going through right now, or they can as just resonate as much as we can.
Or be hopeful, yeah.
I just wish that we are able to change the Indian cinema when it comes to, maybe evolve or redefine it.
Right.
Like for example, Lapata Ladies was such a beautiful film. But when Rehna Hai Tere Dil Mein, which is one of the cult films, it is a cult film, but did it do those
It
numbers?
didn't do well.
Exactly.
Yeah. The Tamil
So,
version did very well,
yeah.
so they remade it in Hindi, and Hindi didn't do well. But now it's over time, it's become this, apparently, because Dia Mirza keeps talking about how...
Oh my God, what a movie. Oh, I love it.
But that also makes it a little easier for you to say yes to films, right, that you really like, because again, if there are no guarantees, so you might as well just do what you want to do and what exactly rocks the boat, as opposed to people saying, this is going to work for sure, because there is no work for sure anymore.
So I'm just
it's
following
like-
my heart. There are times where I'm doing a Son of Sardar 2 and Hai Jawani To Ishq Hona Hai. At the same time, I'm doing Love Sonia and I'm doing Do Deewane Seher Mein and Sita Ramam and Hai Nana.
Right. So when we want to kind of this other thing that you guys hinted about, and Ravi Udyawar also told me, was that he said it's a story about two very imperfect people finding love, and that sounds like a wonderful premise, because it's I think people have begun to accept more. I won't say grace so much as maybe textured characters. Now they don't want the clean cut. If it's a heroine, then she's going to be this Gunwati, this all the good things are in her kind of a thing. And it's like, see, when I see, I love Maine Pyar Kiya. That's one a very, very iconic film for me. But when I see Bhagyashree in that today, sometimes I inwardly, like, I laugh despite myself, because that's such a creation.
Perfect, yeah,
She's so sweet.
perfect.
She's so good. She's like, and if you're watching this, Bhagyashree, by any chance, please no shade on you. But this is like and people, we used to enjoy that fantasy earlier. I think people now don't want that fantasy.
Yeah.
They want a little
Like
more real.
even Vivah in that case, she was so perfect. What a beautiful movie.
Yeah. So there's like, I'm surprised you brought that up, because not many people talk about that in Suraj Bajatia's. Yeah. So and so gentle. This is like, is this a gentle film?
Not at
Deewane?
all.
Okay.
No, our film.
Gentle?
Yeah, it is a gentle.
Matlab, it
You're
is
not even
gentle,
agreeing
but
on whether
not
it's gentle or
being
not.
jaldi, not like that.
Are you being meta
Meaning?
now? Like, as in, like, are you
Meta?
creating tension for the
Wait. I didn't get your question. I'm sorry.
You're saying this is a gentle film, not a gentle film.
Matlab, we're being ourselves. Like, what do you define? What do you mean by
As in,
gentle?
like you said, Vivah, so he said.
No, उतनी gentle नहीं है. मतलब रोशनी तो बिल्कुल नहीं है.
मतलब gentle.
आप हो मेरे
The
तरफ.
treatment is gentle. The characters are textured.
Imperfect.
It's not a film that shouts.
No.
No.
It's like
Very like,
yeah.
it's like a, it's almost लगता है ना कोई गुदगुदा के चला गया हो आपको.
It's
like
authentic. It's just how people are. You'll peep outside. It's a slice of life.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Look forward to the film. And it was lovely talking to you for the first time, and you again.
Pleasure's all
And
mine.
you brought up food the last time we spoke as well. I think something like sabudana khishri.
Oh yeah, I love.
Do you talk about that?
Yeah.
My comfort food is that, by the way.
Is that
I love
sabudana
sabudana.
khishri? That's some.
That's my menu for tomorrow.
That's your menu for tomorrow. That you get.
Khichdi, I'll ask my mom. She'll soak it in the night. It's overnight
ये
soak.
शाम को बनवा के लाना.
Overnight soak करना पड़ता है. 8 घंटे तो दे दो.
कल लेके आना.
कल लेके आती हूँ.
But nowadays when you're promoting a film, earlier it's changed again, right? Because now, as we're doing this interview, you had a lot of things that you did before, like photo shoots and other things. And then after we finish this interview, in a few minutes, you're going to do more, whatever it is, the costume changes, this, that, and all that. Does sometimes selling a film becomes almost as much as making a film?
I think as long as we believe in the film, then it's fun chat. I think, we enjoy it. Like, mostly we,
See,
I
nowadays,
enjoy
sir, there's marketing. How much are you spending on marketing? It also depends. Sometimes a good film is not able to reach to the audience because, maybe
They don't know about
they
it.
don't know about the movie. So, it also depends on producer to producer, how much, what. Should we do interviews? Should we not? Like Sayara, they didn't do interviews at all. Sometimes it's just the mouth of
And
word.
sometimes that backfires, so you never know what.
Yeah, you don't know. We're just doing because we love talking about the characters. I at least enjoy
I
talking about the
enjoy.
movies. And I'm like, sir, I'm here. Tell me what to do.
I
In
love
fact, I'll
it.
call like, sir, kuch karna hai, bata do.
But I love talking.
Just one more thing, sorry, but what can you tell us about your next film, Dacoit? And what can you tell us about your next film? So, you want to go first or you?
The next film after this?
After this, yeah.
After this is a Vikas Bahl directorial with Jaya Bachchan and Avamika Gabbi. I think that's one of, again, it's a very, as if you'd see that I do different things, it's a very different genre. It's a very bright, colorful, it's like a musical romantic comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in a very different space, and as you said, are you going to see me dancing and singing and...
Horse riding.
Yeah, not a horse riding, but like dancing and singing, and it's a film, it's all heart. It's
Is
like...
it musical?
Yeah, it is musical.
wow.
It's a different cinematic language which I think Vikas sir has created for himself, after, I think, Super 30, Shaitan, Chiller Party, and Queen, obviously. He suddenly, I see this and I'm like, is it the same director? Yeah. A lovely person to work with.
Who directed Shandar?
Shandar.
Chandar, yeah.
Yeah, because that was a very interesting. It didn't fully land for me, but it was a very interesting
Plot
film.
was-
yeah,
yeah.
like
Horse
the
riding was
treatment more than because he said treatment. Yeah. The treatment of that film was very, very, very different. Yeah.
So that's why we skipped horse riding. So yeah, it's a very beautiful, bright family comedy, romantic, musical film. So I'm quite excited to actually venture into this one now.
Lovely.
After this, we've just completed our shoot as we speak, like 4 days back.
Oh my God, that means you're going to have to spend time with yourself alone now.
I think
It's time.
Tai Chi.
Tai Chi.
Tai Chi. No, I think this is fun. This is fun to like just talk. I love talking.
And you, Mrunal?
So, Dacoit, a Shanil Deo film, I was really happy to be a part of, is about human drama and thriller for the first time, and the love for cars, action.
So you're doing an action film now?
Yeah, now, yes. That too in Asari, which is,
Wow.
I mean, which is so, I was like, wow, what do I have to do? They'll
Which
be
film
like,
am I talking about?
Dacoit.
Dacoit, right. Okay. Yeah.
And the trailer and the teaser which just came out looks really interesting, and the footage that I have seen so far, it's just out of the box. I don't think I have ever done anything like this before. There is this beautiful story of, you know, Juliet and Hari, which I don't know how to put it out in words, but it's not a love story, it's a hate story.
You should sell all your movies. You should sell everybody's films, in fact.
You know,
So this is
I
like
should tell Dacoit team, hire me. This is your marketing person.
But the other thing is also
Yeah.
that Advishesh, who's
Yes.
the hero,
Shesh.
that entire generation of Telugu film heroes, they seem very sorted about what they want to do.
They're very sorted.
So they're like, it's not they're following a formula. It's pretty much like what he
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
He's like, they like, Naveen Polishetty's new film is a hit, and he's really broken the rules in
Rules,
that.
yeah.
What he's waited out a long time. He made sure he got exactly what he wanted, and so these guys really.
That's what I love about Shanil and Shesh. The combination is so fantastic because they collaborate. They will first of all ask each other, "What do you feel, bro?" Like if you feel, because they both are Americans, you know, they've
Yeah.
been friends since they were in America, and you know, when you feel right, it doesn't matter sometimes what is written. You need to make sure that when you're at the location, everything supports you. And if the weather is not supporting, if there's some or the other element which goes haywire, we'll shoot it later. And they're so true. They're like no compromise whatsoever.
Yeah. So.
And I love that about both of
So
them.
fingers crossed for the future, and for this one, Do Deewane Seher mein. Thank you so much. I
Thank
really
you,
enjoyed
sir.
having
Thank
a
you.
conversation with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
This interview is presented by Ramraj Mridu Towels. Mridu Towels from Ramraj, super soft, super absorbent. GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.